All right. Hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Los Angeles Film School Library Orientation. So you want to learn about the library. My name is Georgina, and I'm the library director for the school. And today I have here with me my two lovely library associates, Matt and Steph. And we're going to show you how to navigate the library website, how to locate items through our catalog Koha, and how to search and access some of our sorry, how to search and access some of our A to Z databases. And ultimately, we'll give you some tips that will help you become a better researcher. We hope that you have a better understanding of our services and the many different types of resources that are available to you as a student, alumni, or even as a faculty and staff member. Throughout the webinar, we will be conducting a couple of polls, so please do try to answer them when they pop up on your screen. Also, if you have any questions during our presentation, please feel free to use the Q&A tab. Steph will be answering them in the chat. And at the end of the presentation, we will have additional time to answer any lingering questions live. So first things first, we would like to take a poll to get a better understanding of our audience who's here with us today. So if you can please fill that out. Please select the current month you're in if you're a student. There's some options there that hopefully that you can try to select. And if you're not a student, maybe you're an alumni member. If not that, then maybe a faculty or staff member. And if neither of those, then maybe you're a guest. And oh, and we welcome everyone here today. So for this term, students and staff can access the library on campus, which is located in B1 fifth floor. For the most part, we're open Monday through Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Though depending on upcoming holidays and breaks or special events, we may be closed early or the whole day. So please check our library site for more accurate hours as we do post them on a monthly basis. And while you're up here in the library and the physical campus library, right, you may utilize the computers here, borrow materials, you can print and scan, and use the space for study. So yeah, that's pretty much it for our library here on campus. And for those of you that are not on campus, or if you're at home, you still have access to our library site and a lot of our resources, which we'll be going down in depth in a little bit. But here's just our contact information. Many of our digital resources and online services will remain available on our site. And before we move on, we would like to get another poll. Has anyone visited the library here, whether it may be in person or maybe you've visited our library website? We just want to know if you've ever visited us before or have seen our sites. Just please indicate your answer with the options there available. And if you haven't never visited us or checked out our site, it's okay. That's why we're here to kind of show you and go through the site so that you guys can get a better understanding. So let me just exit this part out. Let's see. Gonna switch gears here and we'll go to our library site. So you can find the library's website at library.lafilm.edu, or you can go through Connect or through LMS, and it should be under resources. And I'm going to go over some of the key aspects of the library site, starting with the homepage. And then at the top of here, we have several tabs that lead to a different page or guide, along with submenus for each. So I'll be discussing more of the homepage, the About section, our services, and our collections. And and Matt will be going over research and ways to support us. And then I'll be finishing our webinar with our user guides. And below here, below the menu bar, we have our announcements. These are just kind of important announcements, and you can always view more to read more about them. And then next we have our quick links section. So these will help you guide you through the site a lot easier. If you plan to create a library account, if you're up here and you're trying to print, like you can go ahead and download the printer software. Yeah, so we've added some bookmarks that are really popular pages for you to kind of easily go through. And on the left-hand side here, we have our alerts section, our hours and location that I mentioned earlier here, and we have our contact information. So all this is on the left-hand side. And on the right, we have some events going on. So right now we have our Pride Month activities. We have a virtual growth wall. So if you're interested, please sign this virtual wall here, and that way we can collect your responses. So there's that going on. We also have our library summer survey. So if you're interested, please, give us some feedback. Feedback is really is going to help us determine, what things we need here at the library. If you're looking for a particular service or space or particular need, you can write those in here. We'll collect them, and that will help us determine the future for the library. So please fill that out. And then there's the webinars for today, and we have we'll have our library pop-up next month. Then below that, we have our Get Started section. So these are just some, again, just further information to get you started on utilizing the library. So this is that section here. And then in the middle, we have a few items here. We have our new LibSearch, which is the library's new all-in-one discovery tool. So it's powered by EBSCO Discovery Service. So you might be hearing EBSCO thrown at you, but it's just one of our vendors, popular vendors that we work with, and we have this tool for you. So now you're able to search our collections, and also including our digital collections as well. So you'll see later on how our Quahog catalog is used more for our physical collections and things that we've purchased by item based, and then our A to Z databases, which will hold most of our what we subscribe to. We don't actually own it, but we subscribe to a few databases, and all this is all encompassed in one, and this is the LibSearch. So we're rolling it out as a soft launch. We will have more tutorials and trainings on how to use this, but it's pretty simple. You can go ahead and type in some keywords on here, say film production, and you can go ahead and click on search, and then it will route you to the platform, our LibSearch platform, and you'll be able to find, again, our collection, what we have physically, but also digitally, our magazine subscriptions, some articles, books, scripts as well would all be here. So that is a new tool, and we do have some more tutorials on our tutorials page on this as well. So we'll be providing more training as the weeks go by. Next, we have our two main video tutorials. Um, so this one will be the latest webinar recording. We usually just record it. We'll upload it here. So if you need to refer back to it or check out on a different date, you can always view this video tutorial. And then we have our Cohawk tutorial, and which we'll also explore in a little bit anyways, but just in case if you need to learn how to place holds and renew online, pay any fees with your library account, you can go ahead and view this video. And below here we have our news and blog post and our little music Spotify playlist. And so that's pretty much it for the front page. We can go to the About section, which you'll find things that are associated with the library, including the library's mission and strategic goals, rules for visiting the library, and understanding our policies and the code of conduct for both students and staff. And as you can see here, we have our policies listed here. So this is just an overview of what you can and cannot do depending on your school status. But if you'd like to read more, you can review the student and alumni policies, or if you're faculty and staff, you can select that as well. Let's see, then we can go back to, or actually, you know, let's go to the Ask a Librarian page. And here's where we've listed some important, you know, information in terms of emails and phone numbers. So the library is responsible for answering any directional questions from patrons, checking in and out materials, maintaining the front desk and facility, adding resources to our system Koha, and overall helping with your needs. So if you have any library specific questions, just feel free to contact us. In addition, if you need help with your research assignments, you can also contact us at the reference desk. We can direct you to databases, articles, and resources that might be of use, but we cannot do your homework. So please refer back to your professor if you have any specific questions with your assignment. Another area of support is the info desk, where we can help provide you with information about other departments or who to turn to for help, whether it may be asking for advising, for financial aid help, tech kit assistance. If you have any technical issues, right, you can contact the help desk. And if you're having any tech kit issues, you can contact DC as well. So yeah, so some important numbers listed on here. So let's go back to the home page where you'll find services right here. So you can find the services that we provide here. We do provide circulation. So that's again, checking in out materials, such as books, media, and digital resources, along with borrowing other equipment, including computers. In here at the library, we have a printer and scanner machine. We also have some headphones and other office supplies and chargers as well. So you may utilize those resources here at the library. We also have spaces for studying, or just if you want to chill over here, we do have some spaces for that. And if you intend to eat, we ask if you eat here in the hallway. Um, and yeah, and then in addition, you know, we can always help you connect you to resources and other departments for help. And we also do events, and we collaborate with other departments, and yeah, so quite a few things that we do here at the library. So let's go back to the homepage where we go into collections. So we have many items, including books, screenplays, films, magazines, CDs. We have games and much more. Um, you can further view our collection in detail using our library catalog Koha. So you'll be able to conduct simple searches on what materials you are looking for to borrow, or maybe even view electronically. So so now we're going to go over to our library catalog site, which is Koha, and you can click on here and it will route you to our Koha page. So, so the purpose of this library catalog is to locate items within our library collection. So again, these are just things that we've purchased. We have them here physically for the most part, or if not, we have them as digital items as well. So if you're trying to find materials based on author, you can do that by title, by subject, if you know the ISBN number. Yeah, just you can enter that information in and see if it populates any results. So for this, we'll do a little demonstration so you can kind of get a better understanding of it. So, so again, so for more of a narrow search, right? You already know what you're looking for. Um, let's type in baby driver and see what pops up. So there's two results in this. And so we see that we have the script for baby driver and the video. So let's say, you know, you want to read the script, you can go ahead and click on electronic access. And then it might route you to sign in if you haven't done so, and just make sure you use your LA Film School credentials to access any of our resources. Mm, mm, Okay, and there we go. So since this is an electronic item, you know, you don't have to be here at the library, but you can, you know, as long as you're signing in with your LA Film School credentials and have access to Wi-Fi or the internet, then yeah, you'll be able to access our resources this way. Since most of these scripts are located in our Google Drive, we ask that you're signing in with your LA Film School Google account. Um, and if you have any issues with that, you know, we do have some tutorials on how to sign out if you're having trouble to do so. If not, you can always contact us and we can try to help troubleshoot this way as well. But if you are signed in with their personal Gmail account, it's going to give you issues. So make sure you sign out and make your LA Film the default, or sign in a private incognito window, and then you shouldn't have any problems with that. But yeah, so that's one way to view one of our scripts here. And then we have also the Baby Driver video. So let's say you're looking for the video for it. You can always click on the title, and then you'll see just more information on this title. And then on the bottom here, you'll see how many holdings we have for this title. So it looks like we have the Blu-ray copy, and then we have an e-video. So again, anything that has a digital access, a digital item, yeah, you will be able to click on the electronic access button, and yeah, you don't need to place any holds on digital items. You can just go ahead, click on the link, and then I'll route you to the resource. And there you go. Then you can go ahead and stream it from home or here at the library. Again, as long as you're signing in with your LA Film School credentials and you have internet. So that's just some ways that you can look for items here. There's a more narrow searches if you are seeing that, you don't know what you're looking for, you just want to browse, we do advise that you use the advanced search feature right here. And you can select the item type. So let's say you're trying to search for scripts, right? And since, I'm not an online student, I just want to look for online scripts. So you can go ahead and click on ETV movie scripts, ETV scripts, eScripts. So yeah, so electronic scripts, and then for me, I like to put them in order by alphabetical, by title, and go ahead and search. So yeah, so you'll see we have quite a few scripts, over 5,000. And um, yeah, you can go ahead and go through them one by one. There's quite a few pages, but if you are looking for a particular author, you can go ahead, or screenplay writer actually, and you go ahead and click on one of the screenplay writers, and you can limit and filter your refine your search, right? So yeah, so that's another way if you want to start browsing some scripts that way. We also have some public lists, so we often create these lists for you here. So yeah, whether it's on a specific topic, theme, collection, yeah, we've curated some lists here, so you can kind of browse what we have highlighted in the collection. So yes, so if you're interested, we highly recommend that you create a library account if you don't have one. And with that, with this library account, you're able to check out items, you're able to place holds and log in Koha. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and click on this link where it says fill out that library application. And you can go ahead and fill out this form. So it's just so that you're aware that if you check out anything, it's under your name and you're responsible to return it, right? So once you fill this out, then we'll receive it. We'll add you to the system. So then that way, when you get that email confirmation, like, okay, your account's ready, you're able to log in, you can go ahead and log in to your account. So yeah, so by having a library account, you're able to access Koha and you're able to go into and view your account. There's, certain features that you can do while having a library account. You can go ahead and see what you have checked out under your name. If you have any charges and fees that you need to purchase or pay for, you can do so. Personal details, if you need to update any information, you can go ahead and do that here. Also, if you want to look at any of your search history, your checkout history, you can do so. Also, you can modify your messaging settings. So um, if you if you have like filled out the account application, you can um, modify these settings. So let's say I want to receive maybe 2 days in advance notice from the library saying, hey, you got this book checked out, and this is a reminder saying that will be due in 2 days, right? Or one day, however you want to make that fit. And again, we have our lists here. So, I mentioned our public list, but you can create your own list and you can, have like your favorites, your scripts to read, etc. You can make as much as you want. And if there's something that you are not finding or not looking for, or yeah, like it's not in the collection, right? So you can go ahead and leave us a purchase suggestion. So with this, we ask you to provide us with a title name, like what you're looking for, if it's a video, a book, an ebook copy, then and the reasonings for it, right? Yeah, as much information as you can, send it to us, and then that way we can evaluate and see if we can add it to the collection. So we really highly recommend you giving us suggestions and feedback. This helps us determine what the collection is for you. So I know I kind of went through this a bit fast, but if you have any questions, we do have some tutorials. And again, like I mentioned, we do have the main video on our homepage. So, and you can always ask us. We're always down to help as we can. And with that, let's go back to the homepage where Matt will be diving into research.
Thank you, Georgina, and hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here with us today. Like Georgina said, I'm going to be going over two sections of our library website, the research section and the support us section. The research section has a lot of really cool resources that I'm very excited to tell you all about. One of the key features of the library website is our collection of online databases. So these are useful for doing research for essays, if you're writing a thesis, or even if you're just looking for some reliable information on a given topic. But before we begin, I have another poll for you, and this one is a two-parter. So we want to know how many of you have experience with academic journals? And if you do, which ones? So if you have had experience with academic journals, you can select one for yes. And if you have not, you can select two for no. And if you have, we'd like to know if it's something like a Google Scholar that you have experience with, or maybe EBSCO, like Georgina mentioned before. Maybe it's something like ProQuest or JSTOR. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right in. So if you look, there's a button that says research. We're just going to click on that. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring us to the research guide. So here you can see there's a lot of really great resources and tips for doing research, like choosing a topic, finding books, different citation styles, tutorials, subject guides. We'll go over some of that stuff a little bit later, but for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the button that says A to Z databases. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring us to this page, which is essentially a master list of all of the different databases that we offer access to. So some of these databases are subscription based. So when you try to access them, you'll be prompted to log in. And in that case, you'll just use your LA Film credentials and the access should work just fine. And if you need more clarification on how to access the database, how to access the databases or how to conduct simple searches, you can find a tutorial, which again, we'll touch on that in just a second. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to explore some of these databases so that you can get an idea of what they look like, how they function, and what kind of databases you have access to. So just to start off here, we're just going to pick one at the very tippy top. We're going to pick one right there, Alexander Street Film Scripts Online is that third one down. And this database offers access to over 100 scripts, all of which are authorized versions. Uh, the database offers a few ways to browse. You can browse by critical assessments, by people, by genre, and it's a really useful tool when you're analyzing the differences between the page and the screen, right? Um, Reading the scripts versus watching the movie. And just to give you an idea of how it looks and how it works, we're gonna browse by genre. So we're gonna click on genre here, and then you'll see that it brings us to a list of different genres. Let's just pick one. We can pick fantasy here. Now, as you can see, there are 10 scripts within that category. And let's just pick the one at the top, Highlander. And when you open it up, it should bring up the file, and you can scroll through the pages and read it this way. Now, I would like to um, point out that this database is separate from our script collection. So Georgina was talking earlier about Koha, which is our library catalog website. That is a different database from this one, right? So this database is powered by Alexander Street. It's just a platform that we have a subscription to, and they have scripts that are available to read. That's separate from our collection of scripts. So in our collection, we have a whole lot more, but this is also very useful. I just wanted to point that out. But let's go ahead and head back to the A to Z database page because we're just going to browse through a few more databases just to give you an idea. And this time, what we're going to do is we're going to browse. If you see there's these menus up at the top, one says all subjects, one says all database types, one says all vendors slash providers, and then there's even a little box to search. We're going to browse by subjects. So we're going to pull down this one and we're going to click on music. And as you can see, it has filtered it to just databases that pertain to music, and there are 23 of them. So we're going to scroll down a little bit and we're going to click on Naxos Music Library. Down, down, down. There we go, right there under the ends. So Naxos Music Library, this is a really great resource if you're interested in classical music. You can explore and stream classical music from over 800 labels for 100% for free. And the database website also offers things like guided tours of different musical eras. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. If you look over on the left, there's a menu, and one of the buttons says resources. So we're going to click on resources. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different resources. Here are these guided tours I was telling you about. They're separated by musical eras. They have study guides that are region-based. They have a junior section for information on things that are targeted towards children. There's an opera section. There are pronunciation guides. And just to give you an idea of what uh, this platform looks like and can do, we're going to click on one of the guided tours. Let's do the Romantic era. And as you can see, it brings us to an outline of a bunch of composers from the Romantic era. So let's just click on one. Let's click on Beethoven right there at the top. And then it brings us to a bunch of links to different pieces. And we can click on one. Let's just click on that first one. And it'll open up a media player. Now, because we are in a Zoom call, unfortunately, I believe there is a copyright restriction, which means you probably can't hear what is playing right now. But if you were to do this on your own device, sorry, at home, or when you're here on campus, it should work. You should be able to hear it. And if it doesn't, please let us know because that means something is wrong. But that's what Naxos Music Library is. It's just a huge collection, a huge library of audio files that you can listen to for free. But let's go ahead and head back to the A to Z database page. And let's scroll all the way back up to the top. And we're going to clear the filters because this time we're going to browse by database type. We're going to pull down that second menu and we're going to click on, where is it? Streaming, film, and TV. There we go. There are 4 databases within this category. And essentially, these are just ways for you to stream videos, right? Canopy and Swank are 2 platforms that we use so that you can stream movies, feature-length films. So let's click on one. Let's click on Swank. Because what would a film school be if there wasn't a way to watch movies, right? So Swank, this database offers a library of movies that are all free to watch as long as you're logged in with your LAFS email. And as you can see, there are a lot of pretty cool titles to choose from. We got some classics, we got some newer ones. We have Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. We have Casablanca. We have Chinatown, we have Creed. We scroll down, we'll see that we have, Jaws, La La Land, Pan's Labyrinth. Let's just click on one. Let's click on The Bling Ring by Sofia Coppola, a very funny movie if you've never seen it. And once again, I do apologize, but because we are in a Zoom call, the copyright restrictions are making it so that you cannot see what is currently playing. But rest assured, it is playing, and if you do this on your own device, it should play for you. But yeah, so this is Swank. Again, it's just a platform that we are giving you access to so that you can stream movies. Um, but let's go ahead and head back to the A to Z database page and we're going to browse just a little bit more. We're going to clear these filters. And this time we're going to browse by vendors slash providers. And we're going to click on EBSCO right there. So EBSCO is the largest database platform that we have. It's broken down into 7 different smaller collections, depending on what your needs might be. There is the Business Source Elite, EBSCO eBooks, Film and Television Literature Index, Flipster Magazine, which is really cool. Please check that out. But what we're going to do is we're going to click on Academic Search Elite because we're going to do a little demonstration on how to conduct a academic search, right? If you were doing some kind of research for like an essay or something, uh, a database like EBSCO, Academic Search Elite, is what you would want to use to find credible information. And because platforms like EBSCO, Academic Search Elite, they utilize something or they utilize several tools to help you research to make it more efficient and to save you time. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. So when you open up EBSCO, when you look at the first page, what you'll notice is that there are multiple search fields. And that's because EBSCO utilizes something called Boolean operators. Boolean operators are one of those tools I was talking about that helps you in your research. So Boolean operators are there to help you define what your searches are. So just to give you an example, a little demonstration, we're going to search time travel. We're going to put time travel in that first search box. Now, if we did the search just like this, we would probably get a lot, a lot of search results. And if you're somebody who's done academic research before, you know that it can take a long time sifting through search results, right? The more vague your search is, the more search results you're going to get. So we're going to utilize these Boolean operators. So if you'll notice in the second box, there's a little menu to the left of it that says and if you pull it down, we'll see that it says Boolean, and you can pick between and, or not. So let's say we're going to use this second search box and we'll put in uh, motion pictures, right? And if we left it as and, what we're telling EBSCO is that when we hit search, we want search results that contain both time travel and motion pictures somewhere in the record description, right? Whether it's in the abstract or in the actual text, or maybe it's in the record description, like the author or like the publisher, things like that. It has to have both of those search terms somewhere in the record description in order for it to show up in the search results. So it's being a little bit more specific, right? But what if we were to change the Boolean operator from and to or? So if we did that, now we're telling EBSCO that we want search results that might just contain time travel in the record description, it might just contain motion pictures, or it might contain both. So it broadens it just a little bit, right? And if we were to change the Boolean operator to not, now what you're telling EBSCO is that you want to conduct a search for anything that contains the search phrase or the key phrase time travel, but anything that mentions motion pictures at all, you do not want it in your search results. You're telling EBSCO to completely exclude anything that mentions motion pictures. So it's being more specific with your search. So, and if you look over to the right, there are some more drop-down menus that say all fields. If you pull that down, what this is for is so that you can be specific about what your search term is. So it might be that a specific search term is a title that you're looking for, or maybe it's an author's name that you're looking for, or maybe it's a journal name. There's a bunch of these search or I guess signifiers fields that you can choose from. But what we're going to do just for this demonstration is we're going to conduct the search as time travel and motion pictures. And I also want to point out that there are some limiters underneath here. One says full text, one says peer reviewed, one says cover story. If you're to tick the full text box, you're telling EBSCO that you only want search results that contain the entirety of the text and not just like a summary or an abstract. If you were to tick the peer reviewed box, you're telling EBSCO that you only want records or articles that have been peer reviewed. And if you tick cover story, you only want articles that have been featured as a cover story. You can do obviously whatever you want when you're conducting your own research. But one thing that we do recommend is that you always tick the full text one, because then otherwise it can be frustrating when you're going through search results and you see something that you think might be useful and then you click on it and the full text isn't actually there. It's just an abstract. So we do recommend using the full text limiter. But let's go ahead and conduct our search like this: time travel and motion pictures, full text. And look at that, we only have 48 results. So if we were doing research, going, having to sift through 48 results rather than like 1,000 results is a lot less overwhelming. And that's what these kinds of tools are for. It's to make your research more efficient, less overwhelming, and that way you have more time to actually, read things that you have to read. But we're going to go ahead and click on one of these so you can see what a record description looks like. And we're going to click on this one. We usually use this one for our demonstration: no time like the present. So when you click on it, this is what the record description looks like. At first glance, it has like the title, the author, the subject terms, what kind of document it is, the source, where it came from, the ISSN number, if there is one. There is even a text word count. It tells you how many words are in the article, which is pretty cool. But we're going to scroll up to the top because there are this access option menu. If we pull that down, there are usually two ways to access the full text. Let's click on PDF so you can see what that looks like. When you click on PDF, as you'll see as soon as it loads, is that it is more often than not essentially just a scan of the original publication. So however this article, document, however it was originally published is how you'll see it. It might contain images, it might contain, certain formatting. And if this is something that you are interested in, or maybe it's something that you need for your research, then this can be a really great tool. But let's say that you don't need this and you're not interested in it, and all you want is the plain text in an easy to read format. If we go back, if we hit the little back arrow, and instead of choosing the PDF access, we'll do online full text. You'll see that this way, it's just the plain text from the article formatted on just a plain page. So if you're somebody who's only interested in reading the text, this might be a better option for you. Now, both options won't always be available. Sometimes it'll just be one or the other. But we're just trying to show you what kind of features a database like EBSCO has. But let's talk about some of the tools, the other tools that we have up at the top. So obviously there is a save button. So if this is an article that you want to come back to later on, you can save it and it'll save it to your profile. Um, and there's a cite button. Let's click on that. So if you decided you needed to use this or want to use this for something that you're writing, like an essay or something, and you needed to cite it for your works cited page or your bibliography, EBSCO kind of does the work for you. You just tell it what kind of citation style you want, and then bing, bang, boom, the citation is there. And then you can just copy paste it into your works cited page or whatever it is. And then the button next to that is like add, it's called add to project. So if you were to save it, if you use that little bookmark tag, you're just kind of saving it in a general um, folder, we'll say. But if you add it to a project, EBSCO gives you the option to create projects. Has my camera been off this entire time? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Anyways, as I was saying, EBSCO gives you the option to create specific folders, right? So for specific projects, if you were doing um, a project on time travel in cinema, you can see that we've created a folder for that purpose. So you can save these documents to a specific folder, and it makes it a little bit tidier for you, right? If you're doing multiple projects at once and you don't want to mix your research, you can save them to specific folders within the EBSCO platform. So that's also very handy, very nifty. And then next to the Save to Project is a share button. It creates a permalink, a friendly permalink for you. You can save it to your various drives. I know that as an LA Film student, you are equipped with a Microsoft account, so OneDrive would most likely be the drive that you're saving it to. And then next to the share button is a download button, and then a print button. And then if you look all the way over to the right, oh, the translate button, that one's a really cool one too. But if you look over to the right, there's these headphones, And if we click on that, what that is for is when you're looking at the plain text, EBSCO has this feature where it'll read the text to you in a synthesized voice. So if you're somebody who needs that, or if you're somebody who just prefers to listen to text rather than to read it, then that is a possibility for you. And you can also do things like adjust the volume, adjust the playback speed. You can even download the audio, the spoken audio as an MP3. So it's pretty cool. And we can even, I think we can click play and you probably be able to hear it.
Section, culture in context and time like the present. What's with the fascination over Michael Crichton?
Exactly, exactly. Also, I'm not sure why my camera keeps turning off. I do apologize. But yeah, so that's EBSCO in a nutshell. There are more features and more functions, but we're just trying to give you a very brief rundown on how it works. But we're going to go ahead and head back to not the A to Z database page, but to our home page because we're done talking about databases. I hope that most of what I have explained to you made sense. But again, if you're still unclear with certain things, we have a tutorials page that you can refer to. And if that's not something you're interested in, you can just go ahead and ask us. We're always available. Well, we're not always available, but we're always happy to help you when we are available. But anyway, back on the home page, what we're going to do is we're going to hover over that research tab and we're going to click on subject guides. Subject guides is a pretty cool feature that we've added to our homepage, and we do plan on expanding it. So what you're looking at right now is not going to be the way that it looks hopefully a year from now. Hopefully it'll be a little bit bigger. But essentially what it is all of these buttons take you to a page, a subject guide page, with information pertaining to that subject, right? And right now, all of the subject guides correspond with the different programs here at LA Film. So like the animation program, the audio production program, the film program. But we want to add a lot more that are a lot more subject or topic specific. But for right now, this is what we have. So let's click on one. Let's click on the animation subject guide. So this is the animation subject guide home. And like I said, there are various resources, links to things pertaining to animation. I also want to point out that you don't have to be an animation student to access the animation subject guide, and that goes for all of the subject guides. We do encourage students to explore the resources regardless of what program you're in. But yeah, so all of the resources here on the animation subject guide, like I said, pertain to animation. So let's click on one so you can see what I mean. LinkedIn Learning is a really great resource. It's a resource that we offer to all the students, but when you access it through the animation subject guide, it'll link you to a page that has courses related to animation and illustration. So if you don't know what LinkedIn Learning is a video course platform that's powered by LinkedIn with all of these video courses that are taught by professionals. They are all vetted and certified and what have you. So this is legitimate information that you're getting. Um, and it's really, really great. It's a really fantastic resource that we encourage everyone to take advantage of while you're a student here. And it isn't just courses on animation and illustration. Um, there's courses on just about anything. But like I said, when you access it from the animation subject guide, this is what you'll see. And there's a bunch of related topics over on the side that you'll see, like 3D sculpting, art composition, color theory. So we definitely recommend you checking out LinkedIn Learning, whether it's for animation or something else, but it's a great resource. But let's go ahead and head back to the home page. I hope that made sense in terms of the subject guides, but let's pull down that research tab again. And this time we're going to click on resources. So all of the links that you've seen so far, whether it's on a subject guide or links to the different databases, they're all going to be here. This is just the house, the master list of all of the different links that you can find on the website, on our webpage, or on the library website, I should say. And this is just like one stop for all of them. Let's click on art resources. So one resource that we really love to highlight is Google Arts and Culture. I don't think I mentioned it when I started talking about the databases, but some of the resources that we offer access to are not subscription based. They are what we call open access, meaning that We didn't buy a subscription to them. We don't pay for them. They are simply open to the public, and Google Arts and Culture is one of those resources. So you don't have to be a student at LA Film or a student anywhere to access Google Arts and Culture. It's just a really great resource that we like, and so we like to highlight it on our page or on our site in various aspects. We use it a lot for our blogs. Um, it's just really cool. On Google Arts and Culture, you can take virtual tours of museums. They have virtual galleries. They have games and articles. Basically, they're just trying to make art a fun thing to learn. Um, and it's really cool. And it changes pretty often. I don't know how often they change like the landing page, but it basically every time we click on it, it's something different. So if you are interested in stuff like this, visit this page often, frequently, because it is probably going to be different every single time you click on it. But let's go ahead and head back to the home page. And we'll pull down that research tab again. And this time we're going to click on tutorials. Now, Georgina mentioned tutorials. I briefly mentioned tutorials. Finally, we're going to talk about them. So this is the tutorials page. So on the tutorials page, you'll find tutorials on basically everything that we covered today and more. So we have our most recent webinar hosted here. We have a rundown on Koha, which is basically what Georgina went over. We have tutorials on how to install the different software that you might have to use while you're a student here. We have tutorials on how to use the different databases, which is kind of what I was going through a second ago. We have tutorials on how to use the printer and the scanner here in the library if you're an on-campus student and you plan to use the printer and scanner. On this tutorial page, I'll point out that there is this yellow, go back to there we go. The install printer software link. If you're an on-campus student, or if you're just somebody like an online student who lives in the area and you plan to come to the library to use our printer, you can download the printer software onto your personal laptop or to your LA Film issued laptop. That way you can print from your own device when you're here, and it's very, very easy. But yeah, these are the tutorials. And like I mentioned before, they are here to help you better understand the different aspects of the library, the different resources and services. But if you're somebody who uh, doesn't like to watch video tutorials, or maybe you did watch them and you're still uncertain about some things, never hesitate to ask us questions. We are always happy to answer any questions you have in any capacity that we can. So yeah, let's go ahead and head back to the home page. And let's scroll down a little bit, actually. We're going to scroll down the page. And at the bottom of this Get Started box, there's a link that says discounts. So there are discounts that we have put here for you. Discounts to like different online retailers. And if you're an on-campus student or somebody who lives in the area, an online student who lives in the area, there are places in the Hollywood area that offer discounts to LA Film affiliates. So yeah, make sure that you're checking on this. We do change them, when we realize that there's a new discount that we need to add, or sometimes there's a discount that no longer is applicable, so we'll remove it. So, check it frequently. There's a section for students, and there's even a section for staff. So if you're a staff or faculty, make sure that you're also checking this. But let's go ahead and continue on. Let's head back to the home page. And this time we're going to scroll up and we're going to click on the Support Us tab. So if you're curious how you can support us and the work that we do here at the library, there are a couple things that you can do. Georgina mentioned before feedback, because we have a survey that we are currently conducting. We're trying to improve the library as much as we can. But this is an ongoing thing. At the moment, we have a library improvement project in the works. But even when there isn't a imminent project happening, we do constantly want your feedback. So if there's something about the library that you think should change, or something that you think we should add in terms of services or resources or materials, we always want to hear from you. It really helps us better understand what our patrons, what our community wants and needs. And the only way for us to get those things is if you let us know. And donations. We do also accept donations, material donations. So if you are somebody who's looking to get rid of maybe some old DVDs or some books or some scripts, um, and you are interested in donating them to the library, you can go ahead and contact us and we can try to coordinate something. I will say that we can't always keep everything that's donated to the library. It depends on what it is, the condition that it's in, and obviously the physical space that we have, whether or not we have room for it. But we are always interested to see what you are interested in donating. So don't hesitate. Please let us know. We're always happy to receive donations. But yes, so that pretty much is the end of my spiel. I know that was very long-winded. It took a long time. I do apologize, and I hope everything made sense. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it on back to Georgina. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for giving us the rundown on research and ways to support us. Last but not least, the library has curated a guide that would help alumni or students that are about to graduate. We've made this guide for you, and essentially, it's what it entails what you will have or not have access to, such as certain resources or services upon graduation. So please review this guide if you're curious to see what you're going to lose access to. So just to highlight, LinkedIn Learning and O'Reilly Online Learning. So those are the two that the school provides as a resource, but as upon graduation, you will lose access to this, along with certain software and tech that you receive in your tech kits. Yeah, you would also will lose access to some things. So please review this if you're interested. And yeah, let's go back to the homepage. So yeah, so before we wrap up, just want to let you know that we are on social media. So what I mentioned here on our contact information, we do have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Twitter or X, and Letterboxd. So you can follow us to stay current on what is happening in and around the library and get updates on newly added resources to our collection. So it's kind of a good way to stay in the know. And again, you can find it here on our library site. So that pretty much wraps up our spiel here, our webinar presentation. If there's any questions at this time, please use the Q&A section. Maybe it's something, yeah, that we did not cover or you still need further information on. Please go ahead and write those in. Again, we'll post this webinar recording at the end of the day, and you can review it at a later time. And also with that, just a quick announcement, as the next couple of weeks, we are planning to, revamp the site and the space here. So please be on the lookout for any changes. And if you have any questions, just please feel free to reach us out. We're more than happy to assist in that as well. So looks like we don't have any questions, and that's okay. Just remember that you can contact us, come visit the library, say hi to us. Promise we won't bite. And yeah, we appreciate you taking the time to review this webinar presentation. And remember that we're here to help you. So again, if you have any further questions, just don't be afraid to contact us. So this concludes our webinar presentation. A survey should pop up after this meeting ends, and it'd be great if you can, again, provide us with feedback to help us improve this reoccurring webinar. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.